Hey there, today we are doing an epic review of the King Kong Conquer backpack. Let's go. In this review, I'm gonna break this bag down, talk about the pros, talk about the cons. This bag self-stands like a freaking champ. Sneaky pockets hidden in the back panels. But let's talk cons. And you're gonna wanna stick around to the end, because if it's not the bag for you, you're just not feeling it. We're gonna come back to this bag rack and I'll make some alternative bag recommendations that might better suit your needs. But first, let's bring this guy to the review desk. Follow me. Okay, let's talk about the gist of the King Kong Conquer backpack. So for context, King Kong is a US-based carry brand known for making pretty cool gym bags. They know their target audience, dudes who lift, and who kind of like a tactical aesthetic for their backpacks. Some of this bag's top features being 2 front quick access compartments, clamshell style opening with an internal divider that connects via magnet. Ooh. We got some internal organization in the main compartment as well, compression straps that are also ideal for storing your lifting belt, and a well-ventilated back panel that also has some other sneaky organization. And due to its box-like structure, it self-stands quite well. The Conquer backpack currently comes in 3 color options, and it also comes in 2 sizes. There's a 38 liter, and then this guy right here, which is the 19 liter. For the dimensions, we're looking at 16 inches height, around 13 inches width, and it's pretty chunky depth. Almost 7 inches. The weight is not specified on the website, which me no likey, but that's why we have scales, people. With the divider, looking at a pretty hefty 4.7 pounds. And without the dividers, it clocks in at a much more reasonable 3.6 pounds, which is still, though, pretty heavy for a 19-liter backpack. Because of its design, the Conquer backpack looks the exact same whether it's empty or full. This is the Conquer backpack when worn on me. For reference, I'm 5'8", and this is the Conquer backpack when worn on our media manager, Margaret, who's 5'2". And we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All King Kong products are covered by a warranty that protects you against manufacturing defects within its practical lifetime. A little opaque on the wording there. But if there is a defect that's covered under the warranty, King Kong will replace your bag and pay for the shipping, which is always nice. And for all that, the 19 liter runs around 220 USD, and the 38 liter runs around 280 USD. And if at any point in time during this review, you're like, dude, I love it. The structure, the self-standing, the organization internally. Totally buying one. And you're gonna make a purchase or you wanna find out more information, we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best darn bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the King Kong Conquer backpack. First thing you see with the front of any bag is the aesthetic, and this, like I said, is a very tactical aesthetic. Tactical by these bajillion lash points in the front, the overall shape, the 3D pockets. It just screams, you know, kind of like gym military vibes, which is badass to some. I think it's badass. It's not really my cup of tea, but if you live sort of a hardcore gym lifestyle, I can definitely see why this would appeal to you. Next up is the branding, King Kong logo right here, but it is removable. But there's a logo within the logo. But the good news is that if you're into patches, you can just pop your own patch on there and kind of forego King Kong's branding and brand this backpack yourself. Next up is the fabric. This primary fabric is not specified on the website. Also something I'm not crazy about. I'm spending $220 on a bag. I want to know what it's made of. I would guess this is maybe some sort of, it's a nylon or a polyester. That's obvious. I'm not sure what it is. It's got sort of a durable, robust, denim-y feel to it almost. Could be canvas actually. I don't know. All I know is that it feels quality, and I think it's got a pretty nice clean look to it. Next up, let's talk about external lash points, because if you're into clipping things externally on your bag, you're gonna be smitten to know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4 is 28 clippable locations on the front of this bag. So whether it's a water bottle, hand sanitizer, whatever, if you're into clipping these lash points, got you covered. I gotta stop doing that click thing. From there, we got 1, 2 front pockets. A larger one on the bottom. This is accessible with a YKK zipper, non-PU coated. PU coated zippers help provide extra weather resistance, but they're a little bit slower. It's like stickier to open and to close. This one is zippity fast as and YKK makes the best zippers in the game. And then when you get inside this pocket, you notice it's kind of dark. And King Kong uses this black lining, which I'm not a fan of, but I also maybe understand why they did it. The reason I'm not crazy about dark lining is just, you know, look at that. It's kind of dark in there, which makes it a little bit more challenging to find your gear. But also, if you're going to the gym regularly with this bag, there's a lot of sweat and dirt and blood that you might be, you know, kind of interacting with on a daily basis. So it will help to hide those dirt, sweat, and blood stains. Inside the pocket, we have a divider, and then hard to show, but there's 1, 2 smaller pockets right here. And then for the pocket a little bit north of that, again, the darker lining creates a divider, and that's about it. Let's pack it out with a few things. All right, let's check out the capacity of these 2 pockets with some EDC stuff. And with front pockets, you typically typically want to load it with things that you want quicker access to. So in the top pocket, I'm gonna throw, let's see, AirPods, keys. I don't think there's a key leash anywhere on this backpack, which I'm a fan of having a key leash. But also, as a society, I feel like we're moving away from keys because technology. Let me know in the comments below, like, are you somebody who wants a key leash on your backpack? I really don't think there's one on here. Maybe we'll find one. It'll surprise me later. But in the meantime, I wanna know, key leash on backpacks, yes or no? Necessary, unnecessary? Let me know in the comments below. And one cool thing about these pockets is they are kind of 3D in their nature, right? Which doesn't give the bag the sleekest aesthetic, but it does provide functionalities where if you wanna put something bulkier in that front pocket, like a packable tote, go ahead and zip that in, good to go. Now for the bottom pocket, let's see if we can fit a sweater in there just to showcase its capacity. You totally can. So yet again, these pockets, super functional. But given the organization in there, I'm gonna throw my Kindle on the back sleeve, B7 passport size notebook on this sleeve to record the gains. Couple of pens. Don't get me wrong, I feel like I'm not making fun of gym culture. I work out, I know it doesn't look like it, but I go to the gym a lot. I've actually stopped going to the gym and now I'm starting like a burpees routine. I can do like 75 burpees in 20 minutes. God, that's a freaking workout. Got a power bank, throw a little charging cable in there, and then a hard drive at the bottom. All fits pretty nice. Moving on, let's talk about the middle of the King Kong Conquer backpack. The bottom, very flat, and it gives the back a very square-like shape, which isn't the sexiest shape, right? Sexiness is round, it's curvy. Boxy, less so, but the functionality cannot be ignored because self-standing bags rock. This bag self-stands like a freaking champ, which is nice when you're at the gym, carrying the bag around, you don't want falling over. Those mats are gross, right? You spend $220 on your backpack, so you wanna keep it standing upright. I like this feature so much. And then on each side, we have a water bottle holder and compression straps. Now on this side, the compression straps are built in, but on the other side, they are also built in, but they have clips. And King Kong advertises this is the perfect place to put your lifting belt, right? So you're doing your squats, you got the lifting belt on. That can perfectly attach right here, connect into place, bada bing, bada boom. But let's test out the water bottle capacity. Because a lot of times you go to the gym with not just a water bottle, but sometimes a protein shake as well. I got a 24-ounce Columbia water bottle. Let's see if it fits. And I think that it will because you notice this design, we have this elastic mesh. Once unzipped, it's exposed, which gives it some expandability. The 24-ounce water bottle fits perfectly. But will the 1 liter insulated Yeti, why did I close that? Open it. Will the 1 liter insulated Yeti? That's gonna be a little bit tougher of a fit. But you know what? We're rocking and rolling. That's in there. Very nice. Overall, I like these water bottle holders too, because in the days that you're not carrying a water bottle, you know, this is like all flapping out, you can just go ahead and kaboom, do one of those, and it's a lot more of a flush aesthetic. And the water bottles are the exact same on either side. We've got a top handle at the northernmost point of the bag. It's a decent top handle, a little bit of padding, decent amount of room to grab. I'm 5'8", like I said, so I don't have the biggest mitts. If you're like a big dude, you know, I'm not sure how well you're gonna get your hand under there. But the top handle seems well stitched. It's got a nice feel to it. I could use maybe just a bit more padding, but it gets the job done. Now let's talk about the main compartment. Because one thing that's great about this bag is the clamshell style opening. Yet again, YKK zippers get you into the main compartment super fast. And you can see we're still dealing with the same black lining that I mentioned before, pros and cons of that. There's no features or organization on this side of the main compartment, and that's to be able to make the magnetic dividers, where are they? Fit in, so we're gonna go ahead and pop those in. And then on the opposite side, we have 1, 2 zippered mesh pockets and a non-zippered mesh pocket at the top. Let's pack it out. So I got a bunch of EDC stuff here. I don't have a lot of gym stuff in the office, but looking at the King Kong website, you can definitely see this is configured for normal gym type gear, right? Protein and creatine powders, shoes, spare towel, but this should still help paint the picture and get the job done. So with the dividers, we have a smaller one at the top and a larger one at the bottom, each of which is split in 2. Larger ones are a good spot for backup clothes, right? You can even put a pouch in one of them. Perfect fit. I got larger headphones. These are the Sony XMH5s. They do not fold. That's the word I was looking for. Fold, they do not fold, but you can see they fit perfectly in this compartment. Throw a power bank on one side. But now you can see like with my EDC stuff that I have, like nothing really like works. It's either like really small stuff or it's too big for this particular divider. And that's the thing with like something like this. It's a little prescriptive. So if you don't have things that perfectly fit into those pockets, you're not gonna get a lot of use out of it. So for me, you know, if I had things that fit in there on the website, they're showing like a little thing of protein powder and some folded over the head headphones, but I don't have anything that works for that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my hoodie on top, right? A little sling in case I need that for later, and just sort of throw the book in the middle. Now flipping it over, we have the 1, 2, 3 pockets. The bottom 2, like I said, being mesh. Mesh is great because you can see through it to know what you put where. So for me, throw some tissues there. I got a selfie stick / tripod. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in the middle one. And then at the top, this one's actually got a little bit more volume to it. It's a little bit more 3-dimensional versus these mesh ones, which are a little flatter. So I feel comfortable putting my sunglasses in a case in that pocket. Yeah, that works nicely. Close it on up. Yeah, it's a good fit. And for 19 liters, I'll say it's got a pretty decent capacity to it. But that's it. Let's talk about the back of the King Kong Conquer backpack. Starting with the tech compartment. Now, I usually like my tech compartment to have a PU-coated zipper. This one does not. It's not required, but it just gives that little extra peace of mind in the situation that you get caught in a rainstorm, right? But I do like the build out of this laptop compartment because a lot of laptop compartments, you'll unzip and it's like, ugh, trying to get in there. But King Kong's like, no worries, dude, we got your back. And you got this sort of like flappage system going on. And that flappage system just gives a lot easier access to your laptop. For the materials, you'll notice it's like a mesh sort of padded situation. Decent amount of padding on both sides. Do we have a false bottom? Unfortunately though, not much of a false bottom, if any false bottom at all. False bottoms are great. It just means they would elevate the bottom of the backpack. So if you do drop it, your laptop is less likely to get damaged. Let's see what laptops can fit. I got a 13-inch MacBook Pro. King Kong says it can fit up to a 16-inch, so this should be no problem. Slide that on in. Oh yeah, that's great. Look at how much room there is to spare. That's why I would have liked them just to like lift it a bit, right? Because obviously there's this much room. If the laptop rested there and you had this much space at the bottom, just for that little extra protection, it goes a long way. But let's make sure they can fit up to a 16-inch laptop. We have 3D print molds things of laptops. This is in the size of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Let's see if this fits. Brilliantly. Yeah, they could have just lifted it ever so slightly right up to there. So that's a great fit. I got a cutout of a 17-inch Dell XPS. Ooh, and we actually have a pretty good fit there as well. But this Dell XPS is an extremely thin 17-inch laptop, so I don't know if it's gonna fit all 17-inch laptops. If you want to inquire more about that, definitely ask King Kong customer support. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, that was a pretty long laptop rant, but I loved it. I came a gym dude and now I'm gonna leave a bag dude. Bags are tight. Well, I'm gonna agree with you, hombre, bags are tight. And if you're digging the convo, like, I would like to invite you to this little community that we have of bag enthusiasts called the Carry Community. And here at Nomads Nation, our mission is to connect this Carry community. And we do that not just through our YouTube reviews, but also through our epic newsletter called the Nomads Nation newsletter. In that newsletter, I send it out around once a week, and I give you an insider look at what's happening in the world of bags. It's crazy. There's so many amazing gym and urban and hiking and all these different travel bags that are coming out every week. And I'm like your reporter in the field, telling you the newest releases, limited editions, collabs, everything. So if you want to get an insider look at what's happening in the Carry community, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. Then you can sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, and I do hope to see you in your inbox. Back to this guy. All right, moving on to the back panel. Do you see all of this that's happening? Me like all of this. Because all of this is really like 3D, right? So you can see you got all these cuts and all this ventilated material, and all that's gonna help like inspire airflow, which just makes your back really happy, especially on those hot, sweaty summer days. The padding is great, nice for comfort, but then King Kong did something sneaky and kind of cool where they added pockets into the back panel. I think it's actually a really interesting use of space. I don't know if I'd end up using these pockets all the time, but it's nice to have them in a way that doesn't take away from the bag at all. Like these would have existed regardless, so might as well use them. Now, because of the nature of the padding, both of these pockets are pretty well padded, which is why I think I'd be pretty comfortable putting my sunglasses in this pocket. It's kind of weird because your sunglasses are fragile and it's pressed against your back, but like it's really well padded. I don't know, I'm not the guy who buys like $300 Ray-Bans. I buy like cheap $7 glasses. So it's less of a risk or a gamble for me from that perspective. But it, I'm sticking to it. Glasses go there. And then in the bottom pocket, we have a back sleeve and two smaller pockets as well. For reference, this back divider can just barely fit an iPad 11-inch. And then also my iPhone 13 fits perfectly into this sleeve, wallet in the other. Now let's see if when it's loaded out with things, if I can feel it pressing against my back. Nah, that's groovy, dude. A phone and a wallet in those compartments makes a lot of sense too, especially if you're in a shady area. You want to keep your pockets tech and wallet free in case there's any pickpockets. Ain't no pickpockets gonna take anything that's back there. Last note on the back, let's talk about the shoulder straps, because these shoulder straps are thick. Oh my God, we're looking at almost 80 millimeters. Those are thick. But thick shoulder straps are great, especially when you have like a lot more weight in your backpack, because it distributes the weight. It's not cutting into your pectorals. And we got a little bit of comfort on the bottom too, a little bit of padding, same ventilated material that's here is here. We have a sternum strap that is adjustable and has a dangle stopper, AKA a web holder, AKA stop the dangle. Where's little Aaron? Pop him right here. There he is. Love that little guy. A little bit lower, we have two external lash points. This hardware right here, clip things on if you want. And again, shoulder straps, basic nylon webbing, and two web holders, one on either side. Where's the little guy? Show him again. Boom! He is very passionate about stopping the dangle. Okay, Okay, now that it's fully packed out, it's time to test the comfort. And full transparency, I actually tested it like 3 or 4 days ago. Wore it outside for 30 minutes, gave it a test run. So Aaron from 3 or 4 days ago, what's your consensus on the comfort of the King Kong Conquer backpack? So a couple things to note about the comfort of this bag. Overall, I think it's quite comfy. The straps are wide, which is good if you got a lot of gym gear in the pack. There's a decent amount of padding. It's a little harder for my taste. Sometimes I like a little bit of softness in my shoulder padding, but the width of the shoulder straps plus the sternum strap helps to ensure the weight is pretty well distributed on your back and torso area. And then second part of comfort is the back panel. Overall, it's pretty well ventilated. I like that it's got a firmness to it, so it just fits the back very nicely. With these 2 pockets, right now I got a cell phone in the bottom pocket. It's not bulging. I don't feel it in my back, but if you got like a bulkier piece of gear in there, you might, so that's something to keep in mind. Overall, pretty comfortable pack. Now let's take it back up to the office to talk about the overall pros and the cons. Overall pro number 1, self-standing. Pretty well. It's not perfect. It will tilt from time to time, but it does a pretty good job. Pro number 2 are the sneaky pockets hidden in the back panels. And pro number 3 is the super easy accessibility for the laptop compartment. But let's talk cons, because I ain't no shill. Con number 1 is the lack of the false bottom in the laptop compartment. Con number 2 is the lack of a dedicated shoe compartment, which can be very important for gym goers. And con number 3 is the dividers are included, which I think would have been nicer if they weren't included and the bag was a little bit cheaper. Then if you didn't want these, you didn't have to pay for them, but there's no way around them. You gotta get the dividers and they might be a little too prescriptive for some. So if you're still here, you might be thinking to yourself, damn, that is a great backpack. I'm totally buying one. And if you're gonna make a purchase, just a reminder that we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. Thank you very much. But if you're not quite sold on this bag, let's go back over to the bag rack where I can give you the alternative recommendations I promised from the beginning of the video. All right, let's play the field a little bit. Let's see what else is out there. My first alternative suggestion for you is gonna be this guy right here, which is the King Kong Core backpack. Great option for you if you're totally digging King Kong, but you want a bag that has a little bit more malleability, a little bit lighter, just kind of a different user experience. I'm a big fan of this bag. Super comfy, cool aesthetic, and to learn more about it, just take a look at the description below and you'll find a link to our full review. All right, my second suggestion for alternatives is gonna be this guy, which is the Aer Duffel Pack 3. This is for you if you're like, you know what? I want a gym bag, but maybe I don't need to go down that tactical route. Maybe I want something a little bit more urban and refined, but that's still a gym bag with a shoe compartment, tons of gym features. Gotta keep the bags fresh. This is one of the first backpacks I ever truly fell in love with, and to discover why, take a look at the description below to find a link to our full review. And for my final recommendation, I got this guy right here, which is the Goruck Bullet Double Compartment 16 liter. And honestly, while it's a 16, it packs like a 25. Like you can fit so much stuff in here. It's just a great pick for you if you want something that's like made with the highest quality. Goruck, their stitching is insane. Their reputation is to be one of the best bag makers in the world. They're not cheap, but to find out why they got that reputation, just watch this video right here. If you got any questions about any bags, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.